This is straight out of George Soros's playbook, nonetheless. And Congress supporters saying, well, if you're in the opposition, you need to be fighting against the dispensation. He's talking about the ruling dispensation. Those are the two narratives that are doing the rounds. How are you looking at these developments? And you just heard both the spokespersons as well.
Well, thank you for having me on your show, and it's wonderful to be with these two esteemed panelists. But let's get down to something very important that we need to look at as far as the nation is concerned and public trust is concerned. In the upmanship of politics between political parties, what is actually happening is the questioning of the integrity of Indian institutions. Now, sweeping generalizations that are made by opposition party, in this case the Congress, as far as the Indian institutions are concerned, and I'm not saying they are perfect, there will always be question marks. There were questions asked about these same institutions when the Congress was in power at the center. These sweeping generalizations tend to erode public trust in the very institutions that we are supposed to have trust in. So that's point number one. Point number two, fighting state, which is what he's talking about, fighting the Indian state, essentially means that you are saying that the state itself is the enemy to the Congress party in this case, and to the people at large as per the interpretation of the Congress. So where is the trust factor? Today, when Congress is going to come out and talk, being one of the oldest political parties in the country, people responsible for the institutions for the last several decades, who are in power for several decades, today, those very same institutions that were under you at some point of time is what you want to fight the Indian state about. Is that the kind of trust and is that the kind of confidence you want the people of this country to have in the institutions? They may not be perfect, and that happened even in the Congress. So today, this kind of narrative that the Congress is putting forth with regards to their angst or their conflict with the BJP is not helping the people to have confidence in the very institutions that they're supposed to have confidence, which means tomorrow, in what they are saying, people will not have confidence in the CBI, they will not have confidence in the ED, they won't have confidence in any of the institutions. Then are they supposed to become anarchists? Are people supposed to go for justice in an anarchic manner? Is that what the Congress wants? To create chaos and anarchy? You see, when the Congress was also there was a Supreme Court judge that very categorically called it the caged parrot. Even now, when we are looking at the allegations that the Congress is leveling on BJP, they are terming the same institution as almost a caged parrot. So what is the trust that the people of this country is supposed to have on the institution is the question I want to ask both the political party spokespersons. In your fight with each other, is the common man supposed to give up his confidence in the very institutions that's supposed to prevail and give us justice, like CBI or ED or any of the institutions?
Eroding trust versus safeguarding trust. That is a pertinent point. Before I let Ikram or Anila answer that particular question, let's quickly listen into some more reactions. We've got Gaurav Bhatia. Hardeep Puri came out and said that Rahul Gandhi seems to be mentally unstable. Several of those political reactions on your screens next.
Rahul Gandhi says, and I quote, "We are now fighting not just the BJP, the RSS, but the Indian state itself." भारत से लड़ रहे हैं। राहुल गांधी जी नेता प्रतिपक्ष भारत के हैं। संविधान जिसकी शपथ ली है वो भारत का है और नेता प्रतिपक्ष भारत का कहता है कि हम भारत स्टेट से लड़ रहे हैं।
If that party has deteriorated to a point that they are now fighting the Indian state, I can understand you can have a problem with the BJP because, the BJP has eclipsed you as the largest political party. It has been in power for the last 10 years. It's won an election for the third time. But then fighting the RSS is a cultural organization. And that cultural organization prides itself in placing the nation first. And the Constitution and the Indian state are, I think, parts of the same, the philosophy, the being. That's what defines India as a country. How can he fight the Indian state? Well, I don't know what this is.
Well, Ikram, I'm going to come to you first to answer that question that Savio did, in fact, put across to both the panelists. Over to you, Ikram.
Yeah, as far as institutions are concerned, the institutions are for the people. The whole constitution is by the people, for the people, of the people. The same holds for the institution. And if an institution is on the wrong track, I believe it's the greatest service you can do to the country when you question it. Not questioning an institution when it is going wrong is the greatest disservice you do to the nation. And that is right, and that is true for every institution. It might be the CBI, it might be the ED, it might be the Election Commission, or anything else. That is the answer. No institution is sacrosanct. No institution is a holy cow, because if you make somebody into a holy cow, it actually becomes a Frankenstein that you have to fight against in the end. So any functional democracy has to see to it that the institutions plow and work for the people, and the people are not there for the institutions. So that is as far as the long and short of that is concerned.